My name is Purcell. I'm a poet. I write some science fiction. I attend UMass in the MFA program, and I coordinate their Visiting Writers series.
My name is Klein. I'm a writer. My focus has always been poetry. Now I'm writing plays. I also make videos. I have a video out by a company called Purcell, and it's called Success Window. They're in Portland, Oregon. And I have 2 books of poetry out. One book is called Union, and the other book is called Moving Day. Greg and I do the Northlander Podcast, and I've been focusing on writing plays and radio scripts lately. But the focus of my life, I guess, is basically writing stuff, and I also like puppetry.
I'm working on a first manuscript that I've been working on forever. It's constantly changing, and I'm just sending it out again now, but it's a tough racket.
My next book is going to be out in 2013. It's called Science Fiction Society. That's a book of poems. I thought it would be 2012, but I don't think that's... probably it won't be. Probably. I mean, it could be, but it probably won't be. And I'd love to get this play produced that I'm working on. That's kind of the focus of my endeavor creatively right now. I won't really mention it. I'll just it's set in a necropolis, and it is sort of about the literary system a little bit. Well,
Samuel Beckett is her boss in the play.
Yeah, but he's masked by an anagram.
Well, I actually started the No Slander website back in 2000. It's been up in one form or another for a long time. When I first put it up, I have to admit I was a little too excited by the McSweeney's phenomenon. I visited their website every day and got some stuff published on it. And, the first iteration of that website was owed a lot too much to McSweeney's. But it's changed a lot since then. In fact, it's been defunct several times. Now it's mostly my blog. Ish is starting a blog on it. It's a showcase for work from a friend of mine named Brian Charles. And I don't know. Now we're doing a podcast, and it's one of the best things we've done on the site.
It was started by Greg, and it's something we do together. I think of it as new journalism in a way. It's completely subjective reality, but I do think that we speak from what we know to be true.
For my money, the Northlander Podcast is about nothing at all, really. And that is to say...
but we always feature a reader.
We always feature a reader. Here's what I want to say about the podcast. There are other poetry podcasts out there, and I listen to them. But I listen to them out of professional obligation. And I read poetry journals and pay attention to a lot of poetry out of that same obligation. We've tried to model this podcast on other podcasts. I listen to a lot of comedy podcasts and a lot of news podcasts and gaming-related podcasts. I really like German board games. And what's fun about those is while the love of the person hosting the podcast for their chosen subject is apparent, they allow themselves to talk about whatever they'd like. Not true of a lot of poetry podcasts out there, which often treat poetry as a pedagogical aid. Another thing that sort of drives the podcast, I think, is this is Amherst. There are a lot of poets who live in Amherst, and a lot of great readers come through Amherst and Northampton and the surrounding area.
So we could just go to their reading, and if it's cool with them, we record it, and we ask, oh, could we put this on our podcast? And almost everybody is like, absolutely, because it's only good for them. It's not like we use the readings because we like them, not because of any other reason at all.
And we've had great readings from, and we recorded Aaron Kunin,
Mark Leiner, Anthony McCann.
Anthony McCann's was a great reading.
Yeah, Natalie Lyelin.
Good, that was a fantastic reading.
Michael Earl Craig.
I think Ish and I are unusual in the poetry world. We have different sort of styles and takes. Ish found a home for her work. I have not yet found my home. I'm in search of it though. As for theme, we often come up with them the day before or even the morning of the podcast.
It's like completely personal.
No. It's become a bit of a problem. Last time I talked about a book from Robert Hughes called In Transit, and in fact that book was by Richard Hughes, and it's called In Hazard. We should maybe do a little more preparation in the future.
We had an episode for errata.
Yeah, where we just listed all of our mistakes that come from a result of just showing up to the studio and talking.
Yeah, we have positive feedback, but everybody's so busy that it's kind of hard to know. We hope they like it. But you never know.
We're setting into a thing. Here's my feeling about it. The first reactions to it, and this is basically based on social networking, which is difficult to trust anyway. We were just thumbs up all over the place. People loved it. They were downloading it. I have no idea what the figures are. I don't know who's downloading it or not. So I mean, we're hearing back from people, and I think a lot of people are subscribing. A high point was that the Poetry Foundation featured us on their website.
That was totally great.
That probably brought a lot of traffic too. But you can get the podcast on iTunes, or you can go to noslander.com, NOSLANDER.com, and you'll find it there. You'll find a link to it there. We're up to episode 13 now. We're working on getting the MP3s on our site, but we just haven't had time. It's up on iTunes right now, and we've got links to it from there.